It is the story of an immigrant community here in New York City that the entire community is under threat of gentrification. There's a building that is going to be built of luxury condos, and for a lot of the people in this community, they know what that means. It means displacement. So what we see is how a family deals with this threat of gentrification so differently. I love books, I love writers. Among my biggest influences, I would say Julia Alvarez, who wrote In the Time of the Butterflies, and How the Garcia Girls Lost Their Accent. She's a Dominican American writer who also wrote many books that were about the Dominican immigrant experience, but also more broadly, just about womanhood, which I'm really concerned about. Right now I have an office with like a proper desk, and I do most of my writing there. I usually get up really early in the morning, and when I get up around 5 o'clock, I will sit at the island in my kitchen because I just drink coffee like a maniac. And so I spend a lot of time just getting up, making coffee, finishing, you know, whatever I'm doing. Then the coffee gets cold and I brew another cup. And so I do spend a lot of my time writing in the kitchen, and it makes me feel really comfortable. Like it's a place of comfort for me to work surrounded by pots and pans, and to hear the traffic outside makes me feel like I'm in the company of other people who are also doing important things. Aside from reading, I would say, which is probably like the #1 thing I like to do with my free time, I'm also a runner, and I've completed one triathlon here in New York City, an Olympic triathlon. I did several triathlons in New Jersey. I did the New York City full marathon, and now I've settled into the half marathon. I actually just did the New York City half marathon in March. Right now, I am almost done with a book called If an Egyptian Cannot Speak English, and it is by Noor Naga. And it is the most fascinating, riveting book. I'm almost done with it, and I just love it. I'm telling everybody, like I'm not even done yet, and I'm like, pick up this book, it's brilliant. I contacted the publisher, and I was like, please give me some books to give away. I have an author series that I do through my Instagram account, and I give away books of writers I love, and so I'm gonna be giving away Noor's book in early June. I'm very excited. Well, I would say when I was like younger, I loved math, and I wanted to be an architect. And a teacher of mine told me that I wasn't gonna be very good as an architect because I wasn't very good at math, which doesn't even make any sense because this teacher like taught Spanish. So like, what a hater, you know? I think about it sometimes because I'm like, I could have been building buildings. I mean, I love building books, but I think about that. So for a long time, I loved math, and then I was kind of discouraged from it, I think, and then I very quickly fell into English. I just love to read, so that's how I ended up really loving English. I would say just don't think about it as a novel. I mean, I think it's just, for me, what has always worked is just to focus on the characters and focus on the story. I think sometimes when people are so focused on like the arc of the novel or like a plot, it can become very overwhelming. And probably it's not gonna work very well because I find, at least for me and most of my students, that you don't even know what the story is until you're done writing the first draft. Even if you have an idea about what it is that you want to write about, you have to get through that first draft. And the way you get through a draft is just writing one sentence at a time, one word at a time, until you get to a point where you feel like you've told the story of the characters.